What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So there are a lot of questions that I'm getting in the live streams, in my videos, on the comments, all of that stuff. And there are three main questions, and I'll probably, see some other questions. These are the ones that I see. I see Dogecoin. What are my thoughts on Dogecoin? What are my thoughts on AMC? Not a lot of people ask me about GME, but they'll ask me about Coinbase. As you see up on the screen, Coinbase is a really big IPO or, direct offering that they did have recently that had a lot of push to it, a lot of interest to it. And a lot of people are like, where is it going? Do you see this increasing? Do you see it hitting a bottom? And what is the growth potential of this position? Do we have any good news? What do the fundamentals look like? We just want to know when we can get into this and expect a large amount of growth. Well, to tell you the truth, I really did value Coinbase where it was, and I valued them even higher. Future value, I value them even higher than that, closer to where Tesla is, if not higher than that. So before we get into this, guys, hit that like button. Also hit the subscribe button for more videos like this one, and make sure that you get your free stocks with Webull down below. Don't forget to check out some of the links in the description. It does help out the channel. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at just the path of what happened with Coinbase. You can see that this does not look like the most beautiful path that you could see, the most beautiful chart. It does not look like it. It looks like it may have had like a little recovery, but if you look at it from more of a 100,000 foot view, you're going to see it as a little bump in the road, and then it's going to follow on the way down. Now, was that a false breakout? It looks like it was a false breakout. We also had to factor in the fact that sectors were down. We understood that cryptocurrency was actually making a positive move at that time while the stock market was down quite a bit. But we did see some positive action here, breaking it up to $300. Now, let's break down what happened in the beginning. Obviously, you know that when it opened at 380. If you're following Coinbase, it opened at 381. The first buy was at 381. The initial price was supposed to be 250, so it rose to a crazy amount of 380. The valuation really skyrocketed. Market cap skyrocketed as well. You could see that it did increase from 381 all the way up to 429, and then right away it fell. It fell really hard, really hard. Fell all the way down to about 360. I made my purchases, but people know about what I did. And then it ended up falling down even further to 310, which showed that it had no strength up in those levels, which means that nobody believed up there. And it wasn't just the fact that retail traders didn't believe. It's the first investors, the people that really had first come, first serve, that had that first start to it. Before everybody else can get into it, they jumped in, they bought in, they sold off, because they knew that this price probably wasn't valued at where it is there, because it's all based on what we perceive the value to be. So if we're looking at this and all of these people are selling off, then that's going to continue to sell off. And what they're going to do is we're going to sell off. We're going to basically paper hand it in most cases, and we're going to let that just fall down and wait for it to get to its bottom. Now, the problem is that we could not predict exactly where the bottom was. We thought the bottom was 300. And it ended up increasing. We were like, okay, this looks pretty good. It increased to 260, ended up falling before it even opened, and then fell some more. So there was a lot of negativity that happened with this position, and it looked like it was having false breakouts multiple times. But it was having just more than false breakouts. It was a lot of insiders, first investors that were just selling their positions, ready to let it go, gain some money out of it. They made all the money they wanted to make from it, and now we can get back to where the complete valuation is. If we started at that 250 mark, I'm sure it would have been a lot different. If you started at 200, it would have been a lot different, and then it would have rose. It would have definitely made its move, fluctuated between some numbers. Typically with an IPO, you would have steady movement. So something like Roblox, if you compare it to Roblox, it really hovers between that $60 mark and $80 mark. Doesn't really move anywhere outside of there. Maybe a couple dollars outside of there, but it doesn't really move too far outside of there. But with Coinbase, it was nothing but downhill. It was a complete tanking. It was a complete sell-off of something that had so much interest in it. Somebody that really wanted, or some company that really was going to grow, and we all seen the potential in what it can do. Now, did end up decreasing, had a couple of false breakouts, got all the way down to a low of $208 from from that 429 mark all the way down to $208. It's a huge drop. Now, people are asking, is this the lowest point? To tell you the truth, I don't know. With these false breakouts, you can't really tell if these are the lowest points. Now, we haven't seen a double bounce off of there. It shows that it has support somewhere around these areas, and I always like to see this support somewhere around the 270 mark. It shows that it does have support there, right? And it could create these new resistance levels as well. But the low is not yet determined. You can't really sit here and look at the chart and say that this is the absolute low, because it could have that dip the next couple of days. It could fall down and end up dipping to 200. So ultimately, I think that this is close to where we should be if you're looking to make a move into here and let that grow. Now, we have seen some positive news as of late. We've seen that they're basically valuing it up at that 400, 450 mark per share, right? And that's just one article. But then you also have some negative news that happened, with the unreliability of the actual site, especially with all the crypto sell-off that was going on. People couldn't, go in there. There was just too much, fluctuation in just problems. It was just people couldn't access their funds. That was the issue, really. I didn't really have too much of an issue. I guess I bought before. I needed all that to happen. I couldn't really buy any more in Coinbase at the moment. Now I can, but I couldn't then. But it just creates that problem, right? And we didn't really see any negative movement because of that, which is good. But people do value it at a lot higher than where it is. So if they're valuing it at these high points, why is it down here? And it's all because of how they started. I think the direct offering was just a mistake. I think doing just a traditional IPO probably would have been best. It would have been really good. You have those people that invested a lot of money before any retail traders can get into it, sold off their position. And it hurts. It hurts to see that, because I was one of those people that bought in early. I sold for a gain because I know the potential of just day trading. That's what I wanted to do. That was my plan from the start. But then I doubled down and ended up losing money to where I tripled down and made money. And basically, I broke even, but also made $30. So technically, I just made $30. But I gave up on that because of the fact that I seen it dropping so much. It did not have any type of gain after that. So to tell you the truth, my overall thought of Coinbase and where they're at now, it's great to be able to see this growth of 3%, 4%. In the after hours, they're up 1%, or sorry, not 1%, 0.1%. And I just want to see kind of a double bottom, or maybe just some place to where it's having some sort of strong resistance. I do see that 200 might be a good point to get in for maybe a long-term hold, something that could be very, very big as one of the big crypto exchanges that's out there. But you also need to weigh your options and make sure that it's at this bottom, because I think from 250, where the original price was supposed to be, and getting down to 200 is definitely a far enough drop to where you can justify the fluctuation between maybe 250 and 200, or 225 and maybe 275, wherever that gap ends up being and how big the gap is. Depending how high the price is, the gap could be a lot bigger. So let me know your opinion on Coinbase. Where do you think it's going to be? I mean, I think we're seeing a number of days with good volume, but it's just so hard to tell without any hard supports that we would see on the chart. So again, let me know your opinion. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more videos like this one. Also, make sure you get your free stocks with Webull down below. Don't forget that you can get $10 free with Coinbase if you do want to sign up for Coinbase and deposit $100 or start investing with the first $100. That would be amazing. You do get $10. And also, if you want to join as a member of the YouTube channel or join the Discord group. Also, I have 4 channels. I have 4 channels across YouTube. 3 other channels. That's what I was going to say. So I have 3 other channels that you can definitely check out. Go to my channels, go to my channel pages or my channel tab, and you'll be able to find those. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, and I'll catch you guys in the next.